When Triumph Essex were allowed to reopen their doors following lockdown, guess who was the first person to test ride the brand new Triumph Trident 660? After getting off my speed triple, I expected the Trident to be a no-frills bike and very underpowered. But just as I was leaving Triumph Essex, the manager said to me, "Just have some fun on it." So I certainly did. A lot of people absolutely slated the design when they saw the white prototype, but now we've all seen the finished bike and the colours available, I'm sure you would agree it looks a very cool bike. I'd say it has a blend of modern and old school styling to it. Advertising guys would say it has a contemporary roadster style to it with clean lines and a minimalist look. It's such an easy bike to ride, as you would expect, as it's Triumph's entry-level bike, aimed at new riders or those who haven't ridden for a while. It's not packed with loads of gadgets, but it has everything you need for a fun and safe ride. It has two rider modes, rain and road. If you're new to riding, what does that mean? Many modern motorcycles have riding modes, selectable options that change the performance of the engine at the flick of a switch. When you switch to rain mode, the bike will give maximum grip through the traction control and engine response, instead of maximum engine performance and power. This leads me on nicely to the tyres. Fitted as standard to the Trident are the Michelin Row 5s, which I have fitted on my speed triple, and honestly these tyres are incredible and give you such confidence when riding in all conditions. In the morning when I first collected the bike, I rode through snow flurries and it was a bit too cold at first to really throw the bike around, but by mid-afternoon I was having so much fun on the bike and able to confidently enjoy whizzing around the country lanes without being stupid. I know a few people who are new riders and are thinking of getting a bigger bike after passing their test, and I wouldn't hesitate in recommending this bike to them. My riding buddy Aliska's first bike is her 2011 Street Triple 675. I'm often saying to her, just take your time and build up your riding experience. Ride within your own limits and don't rush into trying to ride like Anna Kraska. Now the Street Triple is an awesome bike. It also has loads of grunt too. When you ride it, you feel like you want to ride it fast, which isn't for everyone, especially if you haven't had a lot of experience. What I love about the Trident 660 is it feels light and easy to ride. The clutch and gears and throttle are smooth, the brakes are ABS, anti-lock braking system, and work just fine and stop you in a hurry if you need them to. For a new rider, this is exactly what you want. You may have noticed I haven't spoken about specifications, torque, engine power, and all the technical stuff and jargon. To be honest, I'm never really too fussed with that. For some, knowing the wet weight and the maximum torque may be important. For me, it isn't. It's about the ride and how a bike feels when you're on the road. As a new rider, are you that fussed knowing that the brakes are two piston sliding calipers, or knowing the rear suspension is a Showa monoshock with preload adjustment? Honestly, I don't think so, but if you are interested in the specifications, then I'll add them at the end of the video for you to study. Believe me, as an entry-level bike, the spec on this is impressive. The most important spec I look at is the seat height. Is the seat height right for you? The Trident seat height is 805mm. I am 5 foot 10.5 and it was fine. I prefer a slightly higher bike, but again, the bike gave me confidence that I wasn't going to drop it if I was doing a hill start or parking up. You really need to sit on the bike and get a feel for it for yourself. Or better still, take it for a test ride and see if it's the right size bike for you. So how fast is the Trident? Fast enough to make you smile. It's surprisingly lively and has enough power to have a whole lot of fun. A couple of times I was being held up by traffic on the country lanes, but this bike had enough power to blast past a couple of cars and still give me enough time to comfortably and safely line myself up for the next bend. The exhaust has a nice sound to it, and it sounds like a Triumph with its 3-cylinder purr, and it won't hurt your ears. I'm not a massive fan of the exhaust styling, and I know I'm not alone in thinking that, but I'm sure in time there will be a few aftermarket alternatives available should you want something smaller and louder. With the Triumph 660, you feel in control at all times. It steers nicely, goes where you want it to go, and stops effortlessly when you need it to. Now my daughter Melissa came out for a little ride with me and was kind enough to carry my camera bag and video equipment on her back.
Thanks a lot for that, really appreciate that.
Now I didn't notice a bike struggle with lack of power with her on it. She may not be heavy, but believe me, my camera bag was. She wasn't sliding around on the seat like she does at times on the back of my Speed Triple. She did say that she felt as though she was sitting right on top of me, but it wasn't uncomfortable for her or me as a rider. I'm sure this bike will put a smile on your face every time you rode it, and it'll be perfect for all types of riding, from daily commuting, evening and weekend rides with your mates, or a long motorcycle trip. I wouldn't think twice about going on a motorcycle trip to Scotland on this bike. The mirrors are awesome and give you a great view of what's going on behind you. And although I felt the seat was a little hard at first, it was fine and I didn't get a numb bum. As you can imagine, the Trident got a fair bit of attention. Admittedly, it's a brand new model and was probably the first time out of the shop, but a few passers by stopped for a chat and they loved it. So how much would it cost you? The basic model is £7,195, which is extremely competitive with other bikes in its class. Like any bike, you can get carried away with the extras, like heated grips, luggage and Bluetooth connectivity. So what did I think of the Triumph Trident 660? Well, I think that's pretty obvious, but don't take my word for it. Make sure you contact your local Triumph dealer and book yourself in for a test ride. Triumph have also just released dates for the Trident Tour, so go check out their website and get yourself booked in, but you better be quick about it. I'll add a link in the description below. If you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments. Stay safe and I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, like and comment.